All right, we are back. All right, for those who come back, thank you for coming back. For those who stayed, waited, whatever, thank you for waiting. Yeah, technology one today. So technology one, R21. You got me in the beginning, but I'm gonna get you right now. So I'm just gonna look at it this way. It was trying to prevent me from giving whoever need the information. But that's not going to happen, not today. So if you can hear me now, I know I can hear because I see the EQ going up. So if you can hear me now, the person that is now viewing, if you can hear me, let me know, please. Because again, I can do internal checks without knowing how the external listens or how the external hears. So whoever that one person is, let me know that you can hear me. Or I feel like I'm talking to myself and I'm just going to bounce. I don't know. But yeah, it's not going to work. I mean, technology try to shut it down, but it's not going to work. All right, you can hear me. All right, bet. All right, so today is interesting. Why? Because today is Monday. You know, people can say, oh, happy Valentine's Day, man, whatever. Today is Monday. Today's a whole nother day. Same things that you probably have been going through, whatever. So we're going to put it to you like this. We have been conditioned for a very long time about problem solving. I mean, I'm just being honest. We have been communicating and we have been conditioned for a long time, whether you're in the military or not, there is someone who is telling you how to problem solve. But what if I have the ability to tell you that there is a new way of doing it? Because I'm going to tell you why wait until it becomes a problem for you to try to solve it. Why wait for you to get into that mood of realizing and recognizing that it is a problem? So I'm going to give you 3 new learning performance measures on how to not allow it to get to a problem. These are my things of what I call your actionable, like they say, emotional intelligence. You have to be intelligent or actionable intelligence on how to get it into the point to where it never has to become a problem. That is a new way of thinking. That is a new way of looking at it, because I tell you, when I'm going to give you these 3 new laws of resolution, you're going to be like, oh man, I never thought about it that way. But it's cool. I got you 100%. So again, like we always start with gratitude. I definitely appreciate everybody who is back, for one, because technology knocked me out. There was no sound. I'm just going to be transparent. I don't know what went on, but I'm just going to look at it as there is something that I'm going to say that someone would not have received if technology would have won. So take this as it is and absorb as it is as well. Because if you continue to learn and you continue to do the same thing that you were doing in the past, you would never have a new conclusion. How long are you going to maintain the victim mentality? How long are you going to stay in that situation to where the situation begins to engulf and begins to take over everything that you feel, or it begins to pollute your thought process? What if you can take your thoughts and expand it and put yourself in a position to grow and go into the direction that you are supposed to go in? You can't grow until you go. You won't go until you know. And when I teach you these new 3 steps of learning a new way, it's going to develop an aha moment for you. So everybody that's here, thank you, and I appreciate you. Go ahead and share this live before we jump into it. And after you share this live, go ahead and put in a comment section, done, so I know that you did it, that you're not just coming here and absorbing the information and not, leeching it and not passing it out to someone else, because this is a new way of doing it. And I promise you, it's going to help you out. I promise you it's going to help somebody else out. Go ahead and share this live and just go ahead and take it there. All right. So here we go. Learning a new way. All right. We always start with the definition. So I want you to put right now in the chat, because sometimes you're going to have to write things out in order for you to absorb it. So the first thing I want you to put inside the chat is issue. Put the word issue inside the chat. Now, there are 3 phases. I'm going to teach you all 3 phases. And for those who have been here, who knows the podcast, the visual side of the podcast, those who listening to it, if you ever want to see it, you can watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it on Consistency is Currency on the Facebook page. Again, those who are not watching on the Consistency is Currency Facebook page, I'm going to tell you now, on March 1st, I am not going to be broadcasting the Facebook page. I'm not going to be broadcasting the Consistency is Currency morning podcast on my personal page, nor am I going to broadcast it on the Texas Black Pages page, because I'm shifting all of this and putting it on the Consistency is Currency Facebook page itself and a Consistency is Currency YouTube page. So you good now. Become 1 February, I'm shifting everything and I'm placing it on that. All right, so look at the contrast in color again. We always go with contrast of color, because a lot of times when you look at the definition, you only read it for what it is, but there's messages within the message itself. All right, issue. The definition of issue is an important topic or problem or debate or discussion. Now let's contrast it. Important or debate or discussion. You have to see it as an important thing that you want to debate or to discuss. This is an issue. But you also have to understand that it is a topic, but if you don't deal with the topic, there will possibly become a problem. Again, issue. The definition of issue is an important topic or problem or debate or discussion. Contrast, important or debate, important for debate or discussion. Again, you have to see it as an important thing that you want to debate or to discuss at the level of issue. Now we're in situation. The definition of situation is a set of circumstances in which one finds oneself, a state of affairs. In contrast, a set of circumstances that governs your state of affairs, because it is just a situation. So therefore, because it is just a situation, it's just a set of circumstances. It really doesn't have the ability to totally engulf you, or the ability to knock you off your square, or the ability to totally eliminate the way that you move and eliminate the things that you do, because it's just a set of circumstances. It's light work right now. Now, again, this is something in contrast in which one finds oneself. You can find yourself in a situation, but remember, this is just a circumstance. This is just the state, meaning this is just where it is right now. It is a state of affairs and a set of circumstances. Now, let me show you the problem. This is a problem. A matter or situation regarding as unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. An inquiry starting from given conditions. Now let's look at it in contrast. We're going contrast white first. A matter regarding or unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with. Remember, it started from a given condition. Now, in red contrast, it's a situation and overcome an inquiry. So now let's go ahead and break this down. You have issues, you have situations, and you have problems. Again, we have been ingrained and doctrinized on solving problems. But before they became a problem, remember, it was an issue first. It was first an issue. When you don't recognize it as an issue or a set of circumstances, and you try to push it to the side or sweep it under the rug, then what you do is you allow it to grow into a situation. Again, issues, situations, and problems. These are the things that you have the ability to change the dynamic of it when you look at it when it's at its lowest, at its lowest point, at its lowest state of affairs. How many times when you got to the point to where you try to problem solve, but you probably should have recognized it when it was an issue? Especially for those that are in a relationship. How come you didn't recognize the issue when it was first an issue? And because it was an issue, I'm not ready to talk about it. Okay, now that issue has transitioned into a situation. That means it is happening again. The situation is happening again because you didn't want to deal with it when it was an issue. You didn't want to talk about it when it was an issue. You didn't want to grab a hold of it when it was just an issue, but you allow it to fester and transition into a situation to where you now want to either you're going to do something at the situation level. Are you going to communicate about it when it is at a situation level? Because I'm telling you right now, if you don't communicate about it when it is at a situation level, it will transition into a problem. That's when you want to try to talk about it. That's when you want to try to do something about it. Why? Because you allowed it to become a problem. We don't have to go into problem solving if we look at it from an issue, situation, and problem. Let's deal with it when it is just a issue. Because it is something that we can communicate about, because it is open for discussion at the level of the issue. Because remember, it says it is at the point of discussion and debate. We don't have to go into problem solving if we deal with it at these three levels. I'm telling you now, yes, this is something new. Not to me. I mean, I've taught my son this, I think, since he was like 15. He understands it. But I didn't get this way of thinking until I was way older. Till I was in my mid to late 30s. Issues, situations, and problems. I guarantee you, when you learn the contrast of the two, that it will not have the ability to transition into an issue, from an issue to a situation. Communicate about it when it is at its lowest point. Communicate about it when it is up for discussion. Communicate about it when you are open to debate about it. Do not allow it to fester. Do not allow it to deprive you to get into the forum of a situation because you're wondering why it is going on the way it's going, because you set the conditions and you set the tone. Oh man, you set the tone, but then folks want to blame everybody else about their problems, but you want somebody to help you when it's a problem. You want somebody to help you when everything hit the fan. But what did you do when it was an issue? Why should people come in to try to help you solve your problem when you were at the level of an issue? Why should someone try to break their neck to help you solve this situation when you should have identified it when it was at the level of an issue? If you have an issue with someone, you communicate it at that level. Again, I'm just using definition and put it into real life terms. For those that are just getting here, I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to show you one more time. Because I think we as a people have gone through this for so long that what happens is we try to put everybody else at fault instead of recognizing and knowing that we should have dealt with our problems, our internal policing at the point of the issue, not at the point of the problem. Not at the point of the problem. All right, so we're gonna go through the definitions again. I'm telling you, this is going to open up and it's going to reveal some things to you that is going to help you out in your own personal life, in your own in your business, when you're dealing with how you deal with certain things. Again, these three things. Again, issue. The definition of issue is an important topic or problem or debate or discussion. Contrast, important for debate or discussion. Again, I'm just using regular definitions and I'm showing you there's message in the contrast. Important for discussion important for debate or discussion. You have to see it important. You have to make it important enough to communicate about at the point of an issue. Sir, ma'am, let's sit down. Let's talk about this at this level right now. I want to communicate about it right now because I see this as something that it is important right now that we have this conversation at the point of an issue. Or it says a topic or problem. You don't have to wait till it gets to the problem when you discuss it because you see it as important to communicate about during the time of debate when it's open for discussion. Again, the situation, a set of circumstances in which one finds oneself, a state or a state of affairs. Contrast, set of conditions. It is a set of conditions. It is not the end all be all. It is not at the point of failure. It is not at the point to where you felt you gave up everything. It is just a set of circumstances. That means it doesn't have to always be that way. It's just a set of circumstances that you still have the ability to go ahead and mellow it down and bring it back to an issue to where you have the ability to be open, to have open discussion. Yes, you can take a situation and degrade it down to an issue. Because again, right here, if you are at a state of affairs that you may find yourself in, but you can bring it down to where you can begin to understand the importance of what we're talking about because it is now open for discussion. That's taking a conversation instead of taking your voice and raising the octaves, and now everyone is yelling at each other because it is not open for discussion. But then when you lower your tone and understand how people body language is, then you can say, okay, let's all sit down and talk about this. We're just having an issue. Because I'm guarantee you, when you tell somebody you got a problem, saying the word problem with someone puts them on and in a defensive posture. When you say, okay, let's sit down, let's communicate about this issue that we found ourselves in. Let's discuss it. I guarantee it's going to change how they feel. And again, situation, a set of circumstances in which one finds oneself in a state of affairs. Problem, again, a matter or situation. Now you see it, there's situation, this is a set of circumstances, and then in the problem, the definition of problem is a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with. When are you going to deal with your problems when it's just a situation? In the definition itself, it says situation. When are you going to deal with your problems when it's just a situation? And degrade that problem from the situation to an issue to where it is now a open door of discussion. and as you see at the bottom, it says, starting from a given condition, you set the conditions. You set the tone. You don't always have to go in the world of problem solving if it did not get to the point of a problem. Stop sweeping your problems under the rugs and expect that rug to not have a pile of dirt under the rug. You're going to trip over that dirty rug because you tried to pack so much dirt under that rug to where the rug is now more of an obstacle than ever before because you swept so much dirt under that rug. How long are we going to keep making obstacles out of the conditions that we've set? How long are we going to create obstacles out of the problems that we could had opened the door of discussion when it was just an issue? That's all I got. Hey, I hope this blessed somebody. I hope this allowed someone to see things from a different perspective, because like I said, we have to, this is learning a new way. So when you're dealing with something, sit down, like really physically sit down and ask yourself, or before you approach someone, ask yourself before you approach that someone, is this an issue or is this a situation? Because we ain't want no problems. Because I want to live a healthy life, I don't want to get to the point to where I'm always having problems with people, or I'm always having problems at work, or I'm always having problems with this particular thing that I've been dealing with. Let me downgrade it and let me look at it when my mind is clear and I see it as important because it is open for discussion. I don't care if you have to write it down. What are my issues? You write down the word issue and you write those issues down. And then you say, okay, bet. Is there a situation that can come out of this if I don't deal with it at an issue? Okay, situation. Okay. I don't know. I might find myself upset, or I may begin to resent or regret, whatever it is. So looking at it from those phases, that will allow you to begin to minimize your problems when you look at it from that perspective. Issues, situations, problems. Change the way you look at things, and I guarantee you the conclusion will change. I can put money on it that your conclusions will change when you look at it from the ISP format: issue, situation, problems. All right, that's it. Y'all be blessed and understand it's going to be all right. I promise you it's going to be all right. Why? You got this. ISP. Peace.